Hi. So I I was thinking like I'm gonna do this archetype of different energy like zodiac energy, planetary energy, astrological energy. But not like in a conventional way. Why? Because there is a if you need some information, there are plenty of information out there. So there is no point of repeating something which is already available outside. So I was thinking like doing the way I use astrological knowledge in my own growth. I always use any kind of knowledge to begin with, not just astrological, as a tool, as a resource, not ultimatum. Never. Because that's a very reductive way of limit yourself um, in a box. Whether we realize it or not, but it does happen over a period of time when you depend on something. By the way, I was painting, so that's that. So it's like, yeah, so I'm and I also, because I do look at astrology, I think a little bit different way. Why it is? Because I, as per the, I studied both, like western astrology and vedic astrology in my own capacity. And I'm not an astrologer or anything. I'm not trying to claim anything. I'm just putting out my understanding of energy and how energy works and how we can utilize those energy. There is no point of analyzing character personalities at the end of the day. I mean, it's just a bunch of labels. What's the okay if I know that X is Pisces, and that person probably will behave like this and this and this, but again then there's like so much of factors that is involved, like you have to see the full chart, this and that. It's never really full picture. So what's the point of just knowing something on a surface level? It's kind of put ourselves in a very judgmental position. So what I'm trying to do here is like really understanding the energy itself, the essence of this energy, and how we can use this energy. Whether we have that astrological placement or not, it doesn't matter, because it's all the energies are available within us and outside us, uh, of us in the cosmos, okay, and in the earth. So yes, that's and that is my one way of that, the way I look at astrology. The another way I look at astrology is, like I was saying, that involve both, western and vedic astrology. It's always been thought like the way they, we go from Aries, we start our year with Aries and I go with Pisces, and we think that Aries is the first. We put astrology in a chronological order, which is, I don't think, fair. I don't think things happen like a linear way. Those knowledges are very 5D. And when you take a 5D knowledge and try to put it in a 3D format, most of the time we get a lot of distortion. And within that distortion, we lose a lot of essential vitality that those knowledge can provide us. So let's not think about in a linear way. In this series, and also, um but I'm gonna give you a thread line though, like through line, and of this evolve, like evolution of astrology, like evolution of the signs, not astrology per se, evolution of the signs, like all this each sign. And I'm gonna give you a thread line of it, and I'm gonna start with Pisces, okay? And I'm not saying the Pisces is the first sign. I'm not putting in a linear way, like linear way of which is first, which is second, which is which come after what. But I do want to say that I want to put Pisces Like Pisces is the beginning. Let's start with that. I'm not saying the first, but it's a beginning. The difference between first and beginning is that first is a linear, first, second, third, fourth. Beginning is a cyclic. It's like beginning and end happening at the same time. So Pisces and Aries happening at the same time. All right. Okay, we are gonna go deeper into that concept because there's a philosophy. So, anyway, so I'm gonna say Pisces is the beginning. So what happened in Pisces? Like, what is this beginning? It's an archetype of chaos, archetype of abyss. Is it abyss or abyss? Mm, an archetype of creation. You know, in popular astrology, you will see that people say often that Pisces is epitome of creativity. The Venus is exalted in Pisces. Venus is all about love and creativity and harmony, all these things. But Pisces is the creativity which happens before life. So Pisces is the beginning of the beginning. So Pisces would be the, in a human um, equivalence, human life cycle equivalence, Pisces would be the fetus, or maybe even before fetus, the conception of birth, the conception of birth, the idea of birth, the idea of creativity. But Pisces is not, you know, by the way, I don't prepare my talk because I really want my soul to unfold naturally without me giving any structure. That's just my way. So we're just gonna flow with it. Okay? So many things can come back, many things can get a little shifted in between. I don't know how it's gonna unfold. Okay, so we are gonna go with the flow. So Pisces is the beginning of beginning. But Pisces is like, when I say idea, it's not like a Jupiterian idea, like a Jupiterian way of thought based idea. So Pisces is, before it used to rule by, like, we thought that Pisces is, because it's an idea, it's a germination of idea. So when our entire world, the world we live in as of now, it's shifting though, but the world we know as of now is very much based on mind, very much based on mind. That's why in Vedic astrology, the primary, like the most important planet we consider is moon, and moon rules our mind, you know. But that's why in ancient time Pisces was ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the god of knowledge. It's like a thunder god, the god of knowledge. No, no, god of gods. Jupiter is the father of knowledge. Jupiter is the huge, Jupiter is big, Jupiter has huge influence. Jupiter is a, nobody consider Jupiter as a ruler, because we don't, but Jupiter wants to rules with his mind, with their mind. So it's not like a ruler, like a hunt, like a kind of warrior kind of ruler. It's not like a royalty kind of ruler. It's more of a, I'm gonna beat you with my mind, I'm gonna beat you with my knowledge, which is also reductive. But we're gonna go there when we're gonna talk about Sagittarius later on. So in ancient time, Pisces was ruled by Jupiter. But then later on, we figure out, the Piscean knowledge, the idea that Pisces energy generates is not really mind based. It based on soul. Even beyond soul is based on God. If you believe in God, whatever God that is, what is God? I mean, in my understanding, God has no shape. Because why it doesn't have any shape? God has no existence, but it exists without existence, and that is the abyss. That is the, because it is a culmination of every energy. It's like a, when everything is together, nothing exists. It's like color. That's why if you put all the colors, there is no color. That's what Pisces is. It's the culmination of everything. So it's not a knowledge that Jupiter can bring, because it's not coming from mind. It's not even soul. It's like encompassing mind, soul, body, cosmos, earth, everything that could exist. Even the existence of non-existence, the God itself. That is the energy. That is where the creativity sparks. That is where the creativity begins. That is where this feeling that I am so full, I'm ready to give birth. We take birth, like literal birth, for granted. Look at our population. Seriously. We take any kind of birth granted. That's why, if in the world of creativity, like, how many people are truly creative? Yes, productive, but productivity and creativity are two different things. Completely two different things. Productivity is driven by this understanding of that thing can be produced. That means we have the power to produce. That means we are the producer. We put ourselves in the position of producer. There is a difference between producer and creator. I'm not going to go deeper into that differences, but you understand, right? Like, I can produce this thing again, but creating is something that is very personal. Let's put it this way. That is very personal. Production is something that is external. It based on our skills. Creativity based on our ability to sync with ourselves. And when you do that, something comes out of it, because there is a spark of being connected. And through that connectedness, something comes out. So creation. So, like Pisces creation is like that. Pisces idea of creation is not Jupiterian based. That's why later on in astrology, in mythology, in astrology, and everywhere, you will see it became co-ruled by Jupiter and Neptune, and mostly by Neptune. Neptune is like that energy, like where it's like, in Vedic, there is, in Sanskrit there is a word called shunyata. Shunyata means, there is no equivalent word for shunyata in English, but kind of similar word is void, emptiness. But shunyata is not emptiness. It's like absence of emptiness. So let me go deeper into that meaning, because there is lot to understand there, lot to, like, not to just understand like mind based, but feel through it. Okay, so absence of emptiness. When you look at when you look at the cosmos, what is cosmos? Can we really see what is cosmos? Are those stars are cosmos? Are those Milky Ways of cosmos? What is cosmos? When we feel the air, when you feel like after a certain point there is no air, but are those empty? as per the scientific definition, yes, because we don't know how to define shunyata. We don't know yet how to define presence of absence, you know. But we know that it's not empty. So what is it? Now we are calling it's all filled with plasmas. Whatever we call it. The thing is, it's the when everything comes together, it it creates a presence of absence like light itself. So Neptune, the god of imagination, the god of, they represent this presence of absence, emptiness without void. Because nothing in this world can be void, and that, like, physics has proved that, like, nothing can be empty. There is no space in this world that is empty. So what is there when it is not empty? Because it's never empty. And that is Pisces. Pisces is everywhere. So Piscean energy is available everywhere. It's within us, in between us. So it is the culmination of everything. It is the culmination, and that's why we call it chaos. But it's not, there is so many, our understanding of words have shaped our reality so much that now we are beginning to understand that how using right words and the intention behind each word is so important, because those words shapes our idea of understanding of reality. Because every time we say chaos, is something negative connotation is attached to it. Because we never challenged ourselves and people who are, I think, in charge of creating linguists, or this all these theorists of language. We never really question, like, what is the effect of words. So we kind of took that words as it is given to us, as we are using it. So chaos is always kind of denoted with a negative connotation, but is it though? Question asked. So Pisces chaos, why it is called the archetype of chaos? Archetype of chaos, it is called not because of its negative connotation, but because it is filled with everything. So that means it doesn't have structure. And we build a world in the material plane using structures. So when you don't find that fundamental element that we build our world with, we immediately think this is something that can cause threat. So we denote chaos with negativity. That's why many times you will see that Pisces are, so, oh, they are dreamy, they are imaginative, they are in la la land. There's like, oh, Pisces are chaotic and they have no sense of time, no sense of reality. I mean, if you look at it in a very structural 3D way, maybe it is true, but that's your perception of limited, or also limited understanding of chaos. But they leave the Piscean energy. I'm not saying Pisces, because you are never just Pisces. You are so many things, so you never can be just Pisces. So you are never really, oh, I'm Pisces, I behave like Pisces and all that. But you are not behaving like Pisces. You are behaving like mixture of many things, and maybe proportion is different. You are just behaving like you. Okay. It just yeah, I'm a big believer of self. Like, we all are a little cosmos within ourselves. Nobody is same. We're all different. And so anyway, so that's where the so it is the chaos of, because there is no structure. Why there is no structure? Because there is no need to be. We put things in structure to divide, to prioritize, to put hierarchy, to put, and which is also maybe necessary for the world, we 3D world that we have created. But Pisces world, because it's so harmonical, they don't need structure to divide, they don't need structure to differentiate. That's a whole different world, whole different idea, whole different way of existence, the presence of existence of non-existence we are talking about. So think about, the idea itself is so alienated from our understanding of world that we cannot fathom it. And that's that, we try to understand Pisces, but the Pisces energy are not to be understood, because that's where the potential is. The true creativity not coming come doesn't come from understanding. The true creativity comes from this submission to unknown, and it takes you somewhere that I'm not just saying things. If you really um see people talk, interviews or something, who are really, really um, did amazing work of art and create anything. It doesn't have to be just art, but anything creative is art, whether it's a science, technology, or whatever, agriculture, whatever. Everything is art if it is embody creativity, if it is embody natural balance. Yes, it is a work of art. So anything that is, if you see all those people talking, they always say that, like, it just, I arrived there, work of art to go over me. I did not create it. I'm not a creator, I am a funnel who channel that energy and deliver. I am the medium. I'm a material medium of that energy that I channel through my body, through my skills. But it did not come from me. It come from a, a like within me, which I'm not aware. you know so like that is Pisces. So we I feel like we should not even put an effort to understand Pisces energy, because if you try to understand Piscean energy, you first of all, we are never going to be able to understand Piscean energy, because our brain doesn't work as of now. Maybe, yeah, we are always evolving. We only use like what, 4% of our brain, or maybe even less. So maybe when we'll be using 20% of our brain, or maybe 100% of our brain, maybe we'll be that, like the true creator of this chaos. We will be able to live without form, and live without matter, live without structure, and be completely harmonical. But we are not there yet. So our brain, the brain we are using it, we cannot really understand that energy. And that is the beauty of it. We are not supposed to, because it does is magic when it's completely left alone. That's why Piscean energy also is a place of isolation, place just to be left alone, not to be bothered, not to be poke around, not to be understand with our limited, Jupiterian mind-based knowledge, because it's working, it's performing in a completely different plane. So the next question is like, okay, so it has the potential, infinite potential to create, infinite potential to give birth. That's why Piscean is also feminine energy, because it by its nature, by its essence, it's like buzzing with the birthing energy, buzzing with the birthing energy. So it is the beginning, because it's like exist to begin, exist to birth. So okay, so now what is this like how we can use this energy, how to tap into this energy. There are many ways we can do that. First, we have to respect the essence of this energy, which is presence of absence. So, meaning that we don't, if we have presence of absence means in its home is absent. So if you try to materialize that energy, it's not gonna work because it doesn't exist in materiality. Because presence of absence, right? So it exists, but it exists in non-existence. So this dichotomy has to be, because Pisces also, it's like that's a duality, right? Two fishes. It's like the duality of this is, but this duality is not Gemini duality. Gemini duality is much more. We are gonna go there when we're gonna go there. Let's not get distracted here. This is a duality which is very spiritual, because that's how we understand, because we cannot go there, so we have to call them spiritual. But okay, spiritual, it's very spiritual. It's like a presence of absence, existence of non-existence. It's like emptiness without void, those kind of very oxymoron, very paradoxical or from where we are looking at, it sounds very paradoxical, but where it exists is absolutely, that's the only way to exist. So how we can tap into that? So we, whenever we need, and we need Piscean energy, because without Piscean energy we cannot create. Yes, we can produce, and world is full of producers. That's why so many junks everywhere. Nobody really care about art anymore, because they don't inspire them to do anything. They just give them anxiety and paranoia and make them feel shitty about themselves, because it's not connected to their souls, because it's not connected to the origin of it's the actual creative essence. So if you really want to create something, and we have to create, otherwise we are gonna be perished, and when I say creativity, it doesn't, like we have to give birth, not a human child, not necessarily, but give birth to our true essence in order to exist in the form of self, in the form of being. So we need Piscean energy, everybody needs. That's why you all have all these zodiac signs together. We are never just one. We will never be the just one. No matter, even if you have like Capricorn stellium, like Pisces stellium, like 5 planets in Pisces, different houses, different planets, but the way they are reacting, it's never just one. Because we are cosmos, and so we are our little world, universe within ourselves. So, and because we exist, that means we are the result of birth, right? And anything that been birth is coming from that essence of chaos. So we all have the seeds of Piscean creativity. Everybody is creative. We just don't know how to tap into it. Some people can, some people cannot, and when they can, they create. So all of a sudden they become creator, they become creative, and others are like, oh, whatever, we are just ordinary, mediocre. What does that mean? We are all creative. We create in different way, different shapes. So how to get into that Piscean energy again? See how the talk is, that's that Piscean, because there is no structure. Everything is falling in place as we are going through it. So in order to really access this Piscean energy, first of all, we need to let go of control, but not all the time. Whenever we are trying to get into Piscean energy, We need to let go of trying control. That's why meditation is related to Piscean energy. Meditation, what is meditation? Meditation doesn't mean you just have to close your eyes and like, excuse me, and battle through like all this, like pushing all these thoughts at the bay. No, meditation is where we feel it's a excuse me, I don't know, it's a space where we can get lost. It's a space where our ego dissolves. It's a space where all forms and structure melts away. You can meditate. Many people meditate by doing many things. Some people meditate by doing dishing, washing dishes. Some people meditate through, I don't know, driving cars. Maybe that's not the ideal way to meditate. And some people, if you ask a Piscean who is heavy on alcohol or drugs, most of the Piscean are like, if you have like, if you don't know how to access Piscean energy and you kind of want to access Piscean energy, that the best way to go through drugs and alcohol, something like that. That's why most of the Piscean people get into this trap, because our world doesn't support how to go there naturally through spirituality and understanding ourselves. And so we take the shortcut. So like, if you ask all this alcoholic, like ask all these people who loves to drink, they will, I feel like they will say that when they truly drunk, they don't they feel that Piscean energy is the abyss, this the chaos, where there is no form, no rules, no structure, nothing, no formation, absence of formation. And that's what give them this huge amount of relief and feel like they're home, if they really want to get into that Piscean energy of nowhere and everywhere at the same time. I think that's what drugs does. It's like a, but it doesn't really, because it takes away from your body. It takes you away from your body, and whenever you access something without your body, because you are material being, it detaches you from something. It detaches you from material reality, which is very, very important. You need that. We all need that in order to nurture, in order to, we are not born spirit. We are spirit, but we are not born spirit. We are born in a body, a spirit in a body, a mind in a body, a soul in a body. So when one thing is missing, you are experiencing, drugs will give you this experience of this, out of mind soul experience. Maybe not, I don't know. Like, but then you are missing one part. But that's not Pisces. But what is Pisces? Pisces is everything together. Light will not be light. The white light, the natural light that you see, will not be light if one little particle is absent. It's gonna be different. It's not gonna be the same. The same with that. So if you're taking out something, even if you're feeling the other attributes of the same presence, but it's a reduction. It's the absence of something. That's not Piscean energy. So drugs, alcohol can never take you to the Piscean energy, no matter what. By definition, it is a reduction, because drugs and alcohol takes away the presence of body. Ask any person who does this, they will say that. They will say that it takes away your body. It gives you euphoria. It can gives you a lot of things, because you are feeling a sense of nothingness, a sense of absence of mind, of thoughts, maybe more other things, but you're not feeling it through that connect you to this existence, which is your body. So Obviously we cannot. So why I'm saying this, because most of the time I feel like people tend to go there to achieve that Piscean energy, to access that Piscean energy, but that's not possible by definition. So what are the other ways we can do that? We can get into that. We can get into that by mindfulness. We can get into that more in tuning, because as I'm saying that we all are creative. So we all have that Piscean energy within us. If we can get into that, then we can feel the absence, presence of absence. So we need to get in touch with ourselves. And how we can do that, everybody has different technique. There are so many different techniques now that we can follow: meditation, mindfulness, breathing, then Reiki, then I don't know, just be in the nature, go for a walk, go for a hike, swim in the ocean, I don't know, anything and everything that makes you feel close to something real. Whatever that makes you feel that I am connecting with something divine, I'm connecting with something real. It can be relationship, it can be anything that makes you feel that I am being myself, I am presenting my soul. Any kind of activities can lead you to that. And when you when we go through that phase, we feel this purge of creativity. You will hear that many time, like authors, they before they write, they go for a walk. No, not go for a walk in the traffic. That's not gonna, I mean, if you can cancel out and put yourself in the bubble and walk on the streets of New York, or I don't know, some busy city, or somewhere which is absolute cacophony, and you can still be in harmony with yourself, you are already in inside of Piscean energy, because you are already like, nothing is making you captive. You are already surpassing those mm, disturbance, because you are not considering there's a disturbance. You are just, they're just there. So that kind of, so I was saying, like, many artists, many creative person, like you know like, who so-called creative person, they do that. You will always see that, oh, I go for a walk in the wild before I write, or I do this, I do that. It's like why it is, because getting in touch with your, that that creative force, that creative ocean, that creative fluid that we are made out of, so that we can create from that. So it's much, so when you create, it's not coming from a simulation point of view, it's not coming from a production point of view, it's coming from something that is so real that we have no control over it. So we just trust that whatever it will come, if our intention is right, if our connection with our this creative ocean is, we feel real, then whatever that gonna come out of it, we believe it's gonna be good, because our intention is good. So it's like, that is how we can get into our Piscean energy, and we can use that Piscean energy in everyday life. Let's say we have some kind of problem and we don't know how to solve it. In everything in 3D world, we're gonna do this, but nothing is working, so we need to go to the another realm, right? We need to be creative. People always say, when something doesn't solve in a normal way, we have to be creative. What does that mean? We have to find that creative essence. Like, we have to see the problem for what it is. Most of the time we have so many layers that we don't see things what it is. We see how things are projected, how things are projecting, how things has been understood, how things have been like manipulated. Like, so many different factors comes into our understanding that we don't see things for what it is. And that's what Piscean energy does. It clears things out. There is no barrier, there is no secret, there is no layers, there is, everything is there. Just see it for what it is, and then you know what to do. And that what creativity is, seeing things for what it is, but not what you want it to be, not like anything, no expectation, nothing, just seeing what it is, the reality, the absolute reality of existence. So yeah. And it's never going to be one day to, it's a practice. That's why we are going to go there. That's why Pisces opposite axis is Virgo. Practice, devotion, being dedicated. It's not, it takes devotion, because the world we live in, we have so much potential. We don't, one day we will go there when we don't need to do ritual in order to get in touch with ourselves. We are going to be always in touch with ourselves. But right now there's so much distraction. That's why we need that separation in order to, in order not to be separated from ourselves and from our experience, from our reality, from everything, because we are missing out so much. Okay, I'm gonna do more of each. So Pisces, we are just the, is life before life, beginning before begins. So next we are gonna do Aquarius, when the beginning, when the creation starts. And whenever we start something, we always mess up. So Aquarius is pretty, that's why maybe we call it like revolutionary this and that, because it always trying new things because it doesn't know. It's just beginning. It knows the ideal way of being. It's like a baby. And if we have to put things in linear way, I really feel like this makes more sense that Aries being first. Like, it makes more sense that Pisces is the origin of creation, and then the creation begins and how it shapes. But I don't like to put things in linear way at all, because world, natural cycle is always cyclic. Now do your research. Take anything in life that is available in nature. Take our lifestyle, cyclic. Baby, old, die, born, baby, old, die, born. It's like this. So anything that is linear is already counterintuitive to natural laws. So anything that we cannot establish something real when we're fighting with the fundamental structure. It's always going to produce some kind of duplicate and kind of unproductive result and create so much problem, because it's not sync with the natural cycle. Mm. Okay. And I'm also, I lot of stuff that I would like to show, I would like to share with you. It's all gonna come one by one, but that's that. Bye bye.